Okay, let's talk about Fukushima again. Let's kind of describe to you what is happening since the meltdown started. What this meltdown done was it burned through possibly the lower containment area. That's the kind of like a basement of the thing. This basement inside the reactor dome is supposed to contain a nuclear meltdown. Now, back in the 50s, when they designed these reactors, it took very smart people hundreds, if not thousands, of days to calculate how far and how deep that uh, basement had to be in order to absorb a meltdown. We hope they got it right. If they didn't get the burn times right and stuff, which a modern day supercomputer can do in a couple of hours, and tell you exactly how far it would burn and exactly how much concrete and steel you would need to stop it from happening, as far as a meltdown that causes a burn through the containment dome. If it did burn through the containment dome, which if it was designed properly, it probably wouldn't have, but it possibly could have. If it did, once it hit the regular soil, it would have melted down and the radioactive isotopes would have combined with other minerals and molecules and free atoms within the dirt and the water, etc., and formed new compounds altogether that had nothing to do with normal nuclear radiation fallout. So now we have a problem identifying all these new types of radioactive materials, how they interact with the human body, what concentration levels are going to be in, so forth and so on. So there's a lot of stuff we don't know about Fukushima and nuclear reactor accidents if they burn through that containment dome. See, within the containment dome, we know what kind of reagents we're going to have, such as, say, heavy water. We know we're going to have heavy water come out of it. But what about other types of pollutants that may be produced? There could be all kinds of different kinds of molecules, chemical formulas, chemicals of a variety of different kinds formed by the meltdown. These are the problem. These are the things we don't know and have never been able to test for. But now we find ourselves having to test for it. That's why the Japanese are going in there with these robots and stuff. They're not only trying to ascertain the radioactive levels, they're trying to figure out what new chemical compounds was formed when the nuclear meltdown occurred. These could be aerosol capable, they could be groundwater pollutants, they could cause different diseases than we were expecting, different types of cancer, different mutations. I mean, there's a lot of things that can change depending on what kind of chemicals and chemical compounds are formed by this molten blob as it goes down into the ground. And the same is true of the radiation fallout around the plant. We don't have extensive knowledge of what kinds of different kinds of chemical compounds that have been made or molecules that have been made by these radioisotopes. We really don't have a long enough period with nuclear power to know what we're looking at. So radioactive areas may not have any cesium or iodine in them or strontium in them, but they may have something else like heavy water, like deuterium and tritium that are emitting radiation. And then there's all kinds of other kinds of compounds and molecules that could be there. Well, I thought I'd give you a heads up on that. Have a good one. Thomas, what's out?